Coach Kelly here. If you've been following my content, you know I'm passionate about sharing practical, actionable steps that help you stay strong, mobile, and independent well into your golden years. Recently, I've talked about VO2 max, the importance of, and how dropping below certain thresholds can rob you of independence. Today, I'm diving into another foundational piece, your protein intake. Now, this is not a deep scientific treatise. I am putting the cookies on the bottom shelf, as my longtime mentor, leadership expert John Maxwell would say. It is inspired by real conversations with some of the members of my club, insights from experts like Dr. Don Layman, one of the leading authorities on protein metabolism on the planet, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and others, and my 40 plus years in fitness and nutrition and the School of Hard Knocks. The bottom line, many people, especially seniors, are not getting enough protein to support muscle protein synthesis, MPS for short, combat anabolic resistance, and protect against falls, frailty, and a loss of function. The wake-up call. And these are real stories from the gym. A few weeks back, I met David, a new member. He's been with us for a few months. And he and I got to talking, and he shared that he's taking a low dose of a GLP-1 medication for weight loss, which can be a smart move, but not a magic bullet. I applauded his commitment and asked about his protein habits. And he said, "Oh, I try to eat protein with every meal. 2 eggs for breakfast, maybe tuna at lunch, chicken for dinner, or lean beef, salmon." Sounds reasonable, right? But when I asked about his daily target, he didn't have one. In the words of my another longtime mentor, the late great Zig Ziglar, hit me. You can't hit a target you don't have. Without a clear goal, it's nearly impossible to optimize. So I gave him a quick ballpark estimate based on his ideal body weight, roughly 0.75 to 1 gram per pound, and I encouraged him to track with our in-body scale at the club. He appreciated the nudge, but it stuck with me. This is the norm. This is not the exception. Then there's Billy, who's one of my new senior clients at 79. Now, he is a big man at 6'4", and he needs at least 175 grams of protein daily per lifetime guidelines. He was doing an intermittent fast on a 16-8 window, but he was falling short on his daily protein intake. I revamped his plan, higher protein breakfast around 55 to 60 grams, gave him a better afternoon snack of either Greek yogurt with added protein powder and or a shake instead of just nuts and fruits, and he was having a solid dinner. Now he's embracing it, but it highlights a key point. Timing and distribution matter, especially for practicality. Now these stories show why we need to talk about this. Why protein matters more as we age, anabolic resistance and muscle protein synthesis. As we get older, our bodies become less efficient at using protein. This is called anabolic resistance. Muscle protein synthesis is the process of building and repairing muscle, and it doesn't respond as readily to smaller amounts of protein again as we age. Dr. Lehman's research highlights the importance of a leucine threshold, around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal, typically from 30 plus grams of high quality protein, to effectively kickstart MPS in older adults. Now, younger people can pull it off with less because they have better hormones, but seniors often need more per meal. Now, muscle isn't just for looks. They're your engines for movement, for balance, for metabolism, and resilience. Low muscle mass increases the risk of falls, susceptibility to illness, and dependency. Experts like Dr. Lehman emphasize consuming a protein-rich meal at breakfast and dinner to maximize MPS after an overnight fast and then throughout the day. Lunch should still be solid, but it doesn't require the same emphasis. Dr. Lyon also talks about the magic 100 grams as a floor, as a practical baseline for many women, even though calculations suggest a lower amount considering their smaller frames. For bigger folks or those building or just even seeking to maintain, totals should be naturally higher. The key is to spread it to hit per meal thresholds. So here are some general guidelines. Start here and customize for you. There's no one size fits all best solution, I promise. And I'm not making any absolute statements. Work with your doctor, dietitian, or nutrition coach if you have one, especially if you have any conditions like kidney disease. But here's a practical framework. As a daily target, Lifetime recommends 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass, which is a higher fitness-focused target. Now, for those lacking access to their exact body composition, a simple approach is to use 0.75 to 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. Simple. For seniors and those with anabolic resistance, research supports increasing intake to roughly 0.54 to 0.72 grams per pound of total body weight, or higher depending on your level of training and the consideration of illness, which both are well above the standard RDA to better support muscle preservation. For an example, if your ideal body weight is 150, you need 110 to 150 grams per day. Again, for smaller women, it'll aim for at least 100 grams as a floor to optimize metabolic benefits. For a per meal focus to trigger MPS, so for breakfast and dinner, shoot for 30 to 40 grams or more of high quality protein from eggs, Greek yogurt, whey and vegan protein powder in a shake form, lean meats, poultry, fish. For lunch and snacks, shoot for at least 15 to 30 grams to fill the gaps. Again, you want to select leucine rich sources like whey and vegan protein powder, eggs, dairy, lean meat, poultry, fish. For seniors, prioritize consistency. Spread intake across 3+ meals rather than cramming into a narrow window if it compromises your overall daily totals. Intermittent fasting can work for some, but it often makes it harder to hit protein targets, especially if it delays your first meal and skips the morning MPS trigger. Test what's sustainable. Most people fall short without intention. Track for a week. You might be surprised at how much protein you're actually getting. So here's some practical tips to hit your targets. At breakfast, think beyond 1 to 2 eggs. It's not enough. Add extra egg whites and or lean meat or poultry. Also consider adding Greek yogurt or cottage cheese, even protein powder to oatmeal or pancakes. Use shakes as allies, post-workout and or as snacks. I do both. My go-to is a mix of either whey, vegan, sometimes I put them together, with mixed berries, nut or nut butter. Snacks, always start with a quality protein as your building block. If your snack doesn't include protein, it doesn't count. Track smart, use apps, an in-body scale, or simple estimates. No scale, use your ideal body weight as a proxy. And then combine with training. Resistance work plus protein is the winning combo for preserving muscle. And then for those on a GLP-1 like David, protein becomes even more critical to spare muscle during a caloric deficit. Final thoughts. Invest in your future self. You can't hit a target you don't have. Setting a protein goal and distributing it to support MPS is one of the highest ROI moves for lifelong strength and independence. It's not about perfection or hitting bodybuilding extremes. It's about giving your body the building blocks it needs, especially in your latter years. Start small. Calculate your target today, and then tweak one meal, and then build from there. Now, if you're a senior or a smaller woman, or just anyone feeling the effects of aging, this literally could be life-changing. So, what's your current protein habit? Drop a comment or come chat with me at the club. Let's get you set up with a plan that fits your life. Whether it's a simple verbal nudge, like with David, or a full revamp, like with Billy. So are you ready to take the next step? If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing to my channel for more practical fitness, nutrition, and longevity insights delivered straight to your inbox. And if you'd like personalized guidance on your protein targets, your training, or just your overall plan, especially as a senior or someone focused on staying strong and independent, reach out through Work with Kelly in the notes below. I would love to help you build a program that fits your life and goals. Let's get after it. Your future self will thank you. Best of luck in your journey.